Okay, I've got both of the sliders finished, and like I've said 100 times, I've mounted the bench seat lower half of the sliders to the bucket seat upper half of the sliders. And I got everything finished. I got my little 1/4-inch socket head bolts installed, and put everything back on the seat, hooked up the springs and the linkages, and everything is working like it should. So now we just got to test it, put it in the truck, and see how it fits. Okay, I've got the seat reinstalled in the truck, and it fits perfect, like it was made for this truck. I'll come down here and I'll show you. I got the front of the far side here, the closest to the driver door. I've got this side bolted down. That's the only place where there are mounting locations, bolt holes. They do work, obviously, because this is the original bench seat lower slider, so they fit into those original bolt holes. And I haven't sat in it, and I urge everybody, when you get to this point, don't jump in there and sit in it, because it's still unsupported right here on towards the inner slider. So next thing we need to do is come in here, and I'm going to fabricate my own mounting bracket for this side of the slider. Like I mentioned in the first video, I've heard that a lot of guys at the junkyard on the Suburbans, they chisel off this little mount that is here, and they just reuse that one in their pickup. But I'm just going to go ahead and fabricate one out of some 14 gauge and just do it that way. So that's the next step, and I'll start shooting some video on that. Okay, so I got the seat propped up, and I've shimmed it to where I think it is pretty level. And so basically, next thing I need to come in and do is fabricate this mount here for the slider that's just kind of hanging out in the middle of nowhere. And I had some little strips of aluminum left around, and I whipped up this piece. This is not the mounting bracket. All this is just to show me where I need to make my bends in the material that I'm going to use to actually make the bracket. So this is just basically a template, and so let me go show you the actual material. All right, here's the material that I'm going to use. It's 14 gauge, just plain old hot rolled steel, and I'm going to cut this into the shape I want. I'll show you that shape. I've pretty much got it planned out in my head. I just need to draw it, and then bend it up. That's what this template was for that I just showed you. You know, bend it up as I need to, and then get it installed. Okay, this is the piece I came up with for that seat mount. I ended up having just to cut it out because I really just made a whole bunch of lines trying to get it right, and it was just easier to cut it out than to show you a bunch of lines and be kind of confusing. So this is the basic shape. It's 3 inches wide at the ends, and here in the middle it necks down to 2 inches. And overall it's 9 inches in length. So I'm going to go put this, I'm going to take my little template I made, I'm going to go put this in the sheet metal brake and bend it up. Alright, so I got my piece. I'm out here on the ground with my sheet metal brake. I've got my little template here, and so now I'm just going to bend this piece up to match this template. Now remember, this is really only the front half, so the back is going to be, we'll have to work with that. But we'll get the first half started and see how this goes.